Okay, I'm Brice Keller from Keller Law Office, MarijuanaDefenseCounsel.com. I'm going to try to run through my slides fairly quickly so that we can take a break and then get on to the having you guys ask the questions that you want of the panel. First of all, this fight is a long fight. It will go on for many years beyond the initial stage of getting Responsible Ohio's marijuana legalization amendment through the voter and ballot initiative this year. We have problems with employment issues, with drug driving issues, with legalizing hemp, and this is a long battle. It is a battle about the rights for marijuana users and patients. Keller Law Office is in an interesting position. I'm a public defender contractor, meaning that in three counties I take appointed public counsel positions. I'm a political consultant for the Responsible Ohio campaign. And we have MarijuanaDefenseCounsel.com, and this is a place where patients and users today can go get themselves connected to resources. If you find yourself and your kid is in trouble with marijuana, you can get connected with a defense attorney. You can get connected with Human Solution International that deals with the other issues related to being incarcerated and things like that. We have GreenFight, which is an app on iTunes, and we have social media groups that are all working to bring awareness to these issues. Our mugshot campaign. What we're doing is we're putting it in the face of people to say that on this picture we have identified I am a marijuana user, and that is in violation of the law here in Ohio. And I practice law in Ohio. That is my real attorney number. And we have our website on it, and we've established a medical marijuana defense. 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and PTSD is reduced by up to 75% by using marijuana. We want to inbox the mugshot campaign to all the decision makers across the state, because we want them to realize that if they come after GreenFight and say what you're doing is wrong, we're going to come back and say that we have free speech, we have the right to practice law, and we have the right to establish a medical marijuana defense now. If they want to fight us on the issues, marijuana prohibition is an epic failure. It is wrong and it needs to be stopped. Marijuana criminal union. There is no such thing as a criminals union. The best thing we got is the public defender's office that is going to represent the collective. We hope. We hope that the public defender is the top defense attorney that goes against the attorney general as a government agent, but that doesn't necessarily play out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the law office as a political tool. We establish an organization that represents patients, users, and advocates, and then put ourselves in a position where we can put those issues on the record, identify and catalog every letter and statement to representative officials, and advocate for the collective. And through this process, we'll establish standing to be able to put in amicus briefs and appeals operations, or to be able to get into the Supreme Court. We have an impending possibility of a legal battle. And so we're talking about what we need to do as an activist community to make our voice heard. Okay, we're going to go support the marijuana legalization amendment. We're going to go vote for it. But we're also getting pushback with House Joint Resolution 4, where the state is undermining the ballot process. So we're going to send notices to government officials. We're going to establish a care requirement to defeat executive immunity. And we're going to establish a right or duty to bring that claim. Keller Law Office is a representative of the activist community, okay, through MarijuanaDefenseCounsel.com. And we are a contractor for the Public Defender's Office. So we believe that we have a right to collect the information from the activist community, make an amicus, and support whatever marijuana legal entanglements would come about. We have a belief that we have a right to have our voice heard. Let's talk about civil disobedience. I participate in civil disobedience. Marijuana, simple possession here in Dayton, Ohio, where my address is a minor misdemeanor. That means it's decriminalized. No one can call me a criminal for doing what I'm doing because I'm doing something that is the minor misdemeanor level. It is a civil violation. And you can have possession, distribution, and cultivation all at the minor misdemeanor levels here in Ohio, save for the places that have enhanced penalties, like in a home rule scenario. GreenFight and MarijuanaDefenseCouncil.com is set up to support activists that are ready to take that offensive fight and say, I smoke marijuana, I'm not going to be ashamed of it, I'm not going to be stigmatized by it, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to say I have the right to civil disobedience, and if you want to come after me, then I am going to get my day in court and challenge the constitutionality of marijuana prohibition and or challenge my ability to be able to argue to the jury nullification or a medical marijuana defense. Okay, is marijuana prohibition unconstitutional? That's a big question. Is it so wrong that it's unconstitutional as a policy matter? And then the question becomes, when is marijuana legal? Does marijuana become pseudo-legal because it's in a decriminalized state and enforcement should stop, but it hasn't stopped? Where are we at in that process? The federal government has already made the Cole memo that seemingly puts a responsibility on our state legislatures to act in reforming their laws. Does the fact that they haven't in Ohio mean that maybe the law is currently in flux? Who knows? These are complicated questions that we need to address. But when we think about marijuana is illegal and that's the end of the story, it's not. There are so many more dynamics. When you have the top cop in the United States, the President of the United States, has said that he thinks marijuana is safer than alcohol. He's got the pardon power. Is it legal or not? It is a question. Okay, let's go to your packets. You should find the activist mission number 1. This is where you're going to get connected. We're going to get connected for a 10-year, 20-year, whatever it takes, battle to get marijuana and hemp legalized, to bring the mission of NORML and LEAP and the other activist groups to the forefront and say, we're about marijuana patients and users' rights. So on the GreenFight activist mission number 1, you'll see a connection to my Facebook page, the GreenFight Facebook page, the Responsible Ohio page, ohio2015.com, which is a page that has news and information about the marijuana legalization efforts. We intend that will probably be a larger traffic page coming in the future. ResponsibleOhio.com. Go there, get on the list, sign up to be able to have Responsible Ohio campaign give you the business opportunity information as soon as it's available. We have it's a 4-part thing. Connect to all our activist feeds at GreenFight, Ohio 2015, and Responsible Ohio. Tune in, share, follow, and spread the word. Register and vote, and legal marijuana will be coming soon. I cannot express to you how important it is when you take a marijuana post from Marijuana Policy Project or Responsible Ohio, and you put that on your personal feed, and you say to all your friends on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Google Plus or on Twitter, you say, I stand up for marijuana reform and I'm not scared to say that. Okay? When you do that, that changes minds. We get 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, that changes the community. We get 100, it changes the city. You can see how it can be exponential to have just one person come out to their social network and say, I support marijuana reform. And you can use the marijuanadefensecouncil.com, the activist links, to find good memes and posters and facts and posts that you'd want to share your views. An example of some of the stuff that we put out from GreenFight, Dr. Sue Sisley, who's a friend of mine, is doing PTSD research for veterans. She's trying to get access to veterans at the Phoenix VA. They're blocking her. She got fired from her job at the University of Arizona, but she's got $2 million for a study that she's waiting to use to help veterans, and they're blocking her. So we put this up on Facebook and encourage people to share it, and we say, we have a YouTube video that goes along with it, but we want people to call this number and say, what are you doing, people? We got places like Dayton, Ohio, where they have a VA hospital that is prepared to do things like this, but can't because the law hasn't changed yet. We need to have the research done today. We need to have it start now, and the place where it can start in the VA process is in Phoenix. Also, we'd like you to call the Dayton School of Law and thank them for allowing us to have this symposium, and also support the marijuana reform course that we proposed for the spring here, so that hopefully we can have all the work that we've done thus far, we can catalog that into a marijuana handbook so that people that are interested in the criminal justice community, and specifically marijuana reform, can come out of law school with the tools and being prepared to fight the marijuana reform debate. Okay, the Marijuana Legalization Amendment, Responsible Ohio. It can change the definition of criminality concerning marijuana this year. That is amazing. To go from complete prohibition to a personal and medical use market and change the definition of criminality benefits the masses, and we must do that as a first step. We've talked about how Responsible Ohio is a limited commercial operation. It's a limited commercial market, meaning that there will be a restriction to the 10 growers who will begin the process. And that allows us to have a regulated and tested market and be an example, a democratic laboratory, as compared to the open Wild West model in Colorado. The home grow and no penalty for simple possession means that 99% of the citizenry has all their rights vindicated in this initial sweeping step to change the definition of criminality. So join the fight. Like I said, get connected, and then we'll have, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll have a Q&A. So that's all I got for now. Thank you.